Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jonathan Gardner playing some more of the 5dem mods. You know, I haven't really researched this mod. I'm sure that there's some differences, but let's look at the tech tree actually. I mean, is it just the same as regular Factorio? I mean, look, well, there's offshore pumps and stuff. So absolutely, what is this? Small pump Mark III. Looks like we have some Mark IIIs and we have some advanced mining drills. And ooh, is that steel furnace? That's electric furnaces. What is that? Steel furnace Mark II. There's steel furnace Mark II. Wow. Engines. Steam engine Mark II. Steam engine Mark III. So yeah, so there's some upgrades. Looks like here we got chemical plants Mark IIs and oil refineries Mark. So we have some upgrades. So it's going to be interesting later on. I think in the beginning here it's very similar. So I wanted to start building the main bus. I have iron. Am I making iron? I am making iron. There we are. I wanted to make copper, I guess. I'm going to assume that this is standard Factorio, and then when it starts to diverge, I'm going to diverge myself. But let's get some copper going. There's a tiny copper patch here. There's a nice larger patch up there. Maybe I'll do my copper processing over here and then bring it down or something. I don't want to bring it down this way. I'll bring it down around the lake on the other side. Let's do that. Let's do that. It's not that big of a lake. Lots of little fishies. Somebody was saying on Reddit that you can put like an inserter down and pick up these, but they said that you can't actually do that. Let's get like 4 of them. Because copper usually is not a problem until later. And let's see. Let's make some power here. So I'm still doing I'm on season 15. I don't know, like 20 episodes into season 15 of Bob's Mod. So I'm still doing that series. I have a big, huge number of episodes in the backlog. So that's kind of why I'm not doing anything there. But I'm so lackadaisical with my... Let's set up the furnaces here. Put the power poles down. I need some inserters, don't I? Yeah, I'm going to need some inserters. A lot, I guess. I don't know how many. Anyway... I'll just build, I don't know, something like that. Make it so it's expandable. Hopefully I'll get steel furnaces before I need to expand it. Again, I'm assuming that it starts off like vanilla Factorio. Not like Bob's Mod, which is like instant craziness. Where you're like, I need to have wood being produced and things like that. So, wonder if... So I'm always worried about running out of oil. Oil always becomes my resource that I get starved of, and it's so hard to set up oil refineries or oil pumps. Green hands, I just can't get over that. Anyway.
Are those the same as the yellow ones?
Yeah, they're the same as the yellow ones. Eliana is here with me. She's watching quietly in the background. She's a 13-year-old girl going through 13-year-old girl things. So she's here with me right now. So we put this on the other side. I need some more of those. Where are those guys at? I do admit that I like the combination. Oh, that's right. These guys have the deeper underground belts, which I think I might be using actually.
To like go under underground belts?
Yeah, they go farther underground.
That could actually be pretty useful.
Yeah, and they come early. Unlike Bob's Mod, which is like come like late game after you've already laid everything down. So, let's just do this. I don't know. Where's the copper coming?
Really annoying.
Yeah, Bob's Mods is kind of annoying. There's just... It doesn't... I mean, there's a lot of things to be sure, but it just seems like it's kind of laid out in a weird way. You know. I thought I had a coal patch somewhere around here. I'm just going to take the coal from here. I kind of don't like stealing coal from...
Belts?
From the power supply. I like the power supply to get first option on coal, but coal usually does not end up being the problem. Alright, so let's see where this goes. If this
Is
will
it
cut through in
because
the right
there's a
spot.
lot of it, or
Well, I want to make sure that if I run out of coal, like if I don't have enough
some
coal for my
backup?
factory, that it's the power supply that gets the coal first, so I don't run out of power, because that would be the worst. Oh no, it goes down here. I need some more belts. Alright. Alright. Here's some power. As soon as you get some coal. You already have some coal because when I have the autofill placed down there. Let's just bring... I need to grab some more belts. Build some more belts and grab them. Probably shut this down now. That's done. That's done. We're still mining the Stein.
Dad,
Let's tear this up. Yes, Eliana.
do you have any story ideas?
Any story ideas?
Yeah.
I don't know who you think I am. Actually, I had this really cool idea that I thought was pretty cool about... You know Princess Mononoke, right?
Kind of.
So the big plot of Princess Mononoke is that there is like the animal world,
Yeah.
and there's a human world, and the humans are encroaching on the animals. Well, Princess Mononoke is kind of like a daughter of the animals. What is this? Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna have these for the trains, and this would be awesome. Please have like 8x8s, big chest. Anyway, do I want to do this already? I don't know. I'm doing red science. Let's do red science. Let's actually do the military stuff first.
So what were you saying?
Anyway, so the animal world is dying. Anyway, the Princess Mononoke, she's like a human that's connected to the animals, right?
Yeah.
And so, did I do the steel tool already? And so there's a big debate about whether she should fight for the animals or whether she should join the humans, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Princess Mononoke is like, I'm going to fight with the animals, but the animals are like, you're going to lose and die if you fight for the animals against the humans, because the humans are too strong. We know this, right? Make some steel. And so I had this idea for the D&D universe where, kind of like that scenario where the animals are kind of dying, and the humans are taking over and stuff like that, or something like that. And so the players would feel compassion for the animals, but they would be powerless to stop the animals from being extinguished, because the humans are just that strong, you know. And so I had a little thought about that, and kind of I was trying to figure out like a religious system, like why are there gods? What do gods do? What's the point? You know, that kind of stuff. And
What about for a game? Like, what kind of game?
like for a video game,
Yeah,
I don't know.
because I really want
No,
to
you
help with the
video
story.
games tell stories, right? That's the
Yeah,
story you can tell.
but-
Is like the animals are losing or something like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but you just don't understand, Dad. Dads just don't understand. Okay, so I don't know what. Let's just do this over here somewhere.
is there something that you want to be different about an RPG? Or I don't know how to say it.
Oh, mechanic-wise,
Yeah.
I think I already told you the idea that I had, right? About how you have like different attack vectors and different
No.
defense vectors.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I drew a picture on the board. I said like you can do like physical attacks, and you can do like mental attacks. You can do like different kinds of attacks, and so characters can attack in different ways and defend in different ways. And
It's too far.
that's fine. I'll fix it. Put it down there. So that's going to be a lot of copper. Okay, so now we have iron and
But-
copper.
What about, like...
This factory's big. 2, 3, 4.
So, you know how a lot of stories for these games work nowadays, right?
Not a what that?
Like, a lot of stories nowadays have roughly the same plot, right? Just... Do you know what I'm talking about?
Every story has the same plot.
Yeah, but... I kinda get that. But
Yeah.
how would you change a story enough to be different story-wise?
So how would you make your story different than all the other stories?
Yes.
I'm not an expert on these things, but I'll tell you what. I think characters drive the story. And you come up with different characters that behave different than all the other characters. I think there's an infinite variety of possible characters that you can have.
Like what?
Like just personalities and things like that, and the way that personalities play with each other. And
Like, what kind of character would you want to play as?
like, for instance, like take like Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Han Solo made Star Wars what it is. You have to admit that's just the truth, right?
I've never really seen Star Wars.
You've never seen Star Wars. Of course, you've seen Star Wars.
No. I remember like little tiny bits and pieces, but I was like a little.
Well, you need to watch Star Wars again, the original ones. Basically,
Yeah.
Star Wars like starts when Han Solo's introduced. Han Solo's kind of like, I don't know the right way
The
to put it.
life of Star Wars.
He is the life of Star Wars, yes. It's both for those guys. Let's set it back by 1. So, like Han Solo and his whole character really sets the tone for the Star Wars universe and everything. If you just kind of think of it like as, Han Solo is the only thing that happens in Star Wars, and then everything else is kind of built around him. Then, Star Wars starts to be a lot of fun. And there's like characters, Han Solo doesn't act in a vacuum. He's balanced against like Darth Vader, things like that. And Darth Vader is another character. People loved Darth Vader when he came out. Darth Vader was just totally cool, right?
Yeah. He's still totally cool, apparently.
Yeah. Is that right? That's right. We put 2 in and 1 out. And I'm way overbuilding gears, but assuming, right? Okay, now how do I get... I want gears to be on the inside here, so what am I going to do?
What would be an interesting character?
What would be an interesting character?
Yes.
That's something you have to answer for yourself.
Yeah, but...
I think sometimes if you just write the character, the story just comes together. The story just happens. Because all you have to do is think like, well, what if I'm this character? What would I do? What would I do? What would I do? And the story just comes together.
I just need a personality.
Yeah, you just need a personality. So sometimes what you can do is pick somebody that you already know, a character that you already know, and change it. Right? Or take a friend, right? And change their personality a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to like use your friend's exact personality. That would, Okay, Control right click. I think that's all they steal I'm going to need for quite a while.
You control right click.
Yeah.
That's selecting.
Yeah. Control left click drops the entire stack. Control right click drops half the stack. Okay, so we have gears. We have copper. Make circuits. Let's do circuits. So. Now let's leave a little bit of space here. So.
What kind of character would you want to play as?
I like playing as characters that are different. What I like to do is take a character where you think you know who he is, right? Like a Gandalf type character. You're like, oh, everybody knows Gandalf, right?
Yeah.
You take that character and then you play as him, but it's not Gandalf. He's different, right?
Yeah.
And so every once in a while, when Gandalf would do one thing, he does the complete opposite, right? Like Ozif the Wise, right?
What do you mean?
Remember Ozif the Wise?
Yeah, I remember him.
What surprised you the most about him? Or Ozif the Curious? You guys kept calling him wise, but he wasn't.
Yes.
Curious, right? What like surprised you about what he did? Some things he did that surprised you. Yeah.
I don't really remember much about what he did.
Well, there's certainly something that stands out, right?
He didn't make sense a lot of the time.
He was always surprising you, wasn't he?
No, I mean just what he said.
You guys were always like, you never understood Ozif, did you?
No.
Nah.
We were like, just why would you do that? That's completely stupid.
But it wasn't stupid, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it always ended up being like, oh, I see what he's doing. Like one time we had a bunch of like flying creatures or something like that in a narrow cave, right?
Yeah.
And so Eliana was DM, and I said, okay, Eliana, I just want to confirm that this is an enclosed area, right? How high is the roof? Things like that. And she's like, oh, it's a low roof, about 8 feet tall, right? I'm like, okay, and it's a passageway, how big, right?
I
She's
was like, yeah.
yeah, you're like, I don't get it. What are you doing with this? I'm like, okay, I'm going to cast Grease, right? Everybody's like, what is Grease going to do against flying creatures? I'm like, you'll see. And the next round I said, okay, now I'm going to cast, remember what it was?
Fire cone thing.
Yeah, that fire cantrip.
And it lit the grease on fire.
And caused a fireball that
Caused
killed
a
all the
fireball
flying
that
creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
you were
how
like,
did you think of that?
yeah, because he's Ozil the Curious, right?
The curious.
Yeah.
You wanted to try it out, yeah.
So Ozif does things that he's a perfectly normal human.
He just tries to.
He sees things from a different direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of fun to play that way. I need some more inserters.
But the thing is, if it would be kind of hard to play as a character like that in the game if you're the person playing and if you're controlling the character, then
that's where D&D gets interesting. Is you really have to remove yourself, your ego, from the character. It really has to be about what that character, like playing somebody else. That's
D&D,
what it's.
if you were making a video game and say if you had one of the main characters playing as that, or if you were playing with another person and that person was playing as that character, how would that work if that one person did not fit that character's personality?
How would okay? So you're
Does that
saying,
make sense?
let's say okay. So you're just saying there's people that can't act. That's all you're saying.
In a video game,
Yeah. So the video game. How do you bring the video game characters to life?
yes.
That's a hard question. That's a hard question without any good answers.
How do you get
So the
person-
JRPGs, the way they did it is they would force. They would basically force the character to do things that he wouldn't. That you just really don't get a choice, right?
Yeah.
You haven't played Final Fantasy VII, have you?
No, I haven't.
So you don't know what I'm going to talk about next. But so, like, you're like on rails is basically the idea here.
You talk about that a lot, about railroading and stuff.
Yeah. So with the Final Fantasy series, you were always.
You never had a choice.
You never had a choice, right? And
would that make it better if you just gave them a choice, like independent, they chose to change the story or what?
Well, at that time, the American RPGs, they all were like, "Hey, who do you want to be?" Right?
Like Skyrim.
You know, and JRPGs are like, "No, I'm telling a story." No, that's backwards. R. Like Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
But the JRPGs are all about, "No, I'm telling a story here. I'm in charge. You do what I tell you to do." Right?
Yeah.
And if you deviate from the story too much, then
it's not.
Then I don't like you, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Like Zelda, but I like Zelda because of the story and because of the game.
Yeah, but Zelda, you're playing Link. You're not playing your own character. Right?
Yeah.
So you're not playing like Jonathan the Barbarian like that. With Skyrim, you're like one day you're playing a barbarian.
You're not playing as Vorhelma Whack-A-Mole.
That was fun. That was a fun character to play. I should do some more Skyrim.
Whack-A-Mole.
The Sims 3 is fun though because you have this different character, and unfortunately I'm not very good at it, but I keep min-maxing the characters. Okay, so I want extra copper.
When are you gonna have another puke party?
Puke party. Has that video? That video should be out by now. Yes. Okay. Yes, in Sims 3, the popular puke party.
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube.
Okay, I need more copper. This is not enough copper. So what I'm going to do is split the copper here.
Get the copper from the little tiny thing.
Then I need this to basically pop down. I need some more belts. Oh, it's not going to fit.
You're smart.
What?
SSMARD.
What?
You're very smart.
I need to get more belts is what I need.
It's a girls' camp joke.
A smart? What is...
Smart. Last year, one of the wards, they did their skit about, I don't even know what it was about, but how it was about the importance of education or something.
Yeah?
But basically, as this girl was having job interviews, and they were always asking her to spell these simple words. So they asked her to spell the word it, and she said SSMARD, and we all laughed because SSMARD spells smart, which sounds like smart.
Yeah.
And she's not smart at all. So,
You spell it IT.
SSMARD. Yeah, that was funny. It took a while for us to realize it, though.
Okay, that is one complicated intersection there, but I think that's all the copper I'm going to need. Assuming this goes the way I think it's going to go. Okay, time for science. Build my the science guy.
He doesn't even do science, though. He's an engineer, not a scientist.
I know, I've told you that.
How can a scientist be an engineer? Or an engineer be a scientist? Sorry.
It's hard. You have to put on different hats. Actually, the really good scientists... The really good scientists are good engineers too.
Because science applies to engineering? Or what?
Because engineers are always about what's possible, right?
Yeah.
And so Rutherford, right? He's a great example of a scientist engineer.
Yeah.
And so Rutherford... how's that going to work?
It's 21 minutes.
Yeah, I got to take a break here. Let me just get this set up. This is a crazy mean bus. Anyway, no, it's supposed to be gears and copper, not iron plates and copper. Duh.
I wonder how many people would be watching this video, and as soon as you make that mistake, they'll be shouting at you, and what are you doing?
Yeah, well, they don't even know what I'm doing because I didn't even tell them. I'm building science, red science.
You said earlier, let's do science.
Yeah, so, yeah, Bill Nye the Science. Okay, yes, so you're right. They're shouting at me right now saying, why are you so stupid? This is why I get paid the big bucks, peoples. Okay, I need some more things here. Anyway, next episode we'll set up science down here, I think. Thanks for watching. Take care, bye-bye.